Imagine standing on an open plain thousands of years ago. There are no guns, no metal weapons, no vehicles, no walls protecting you. And somewhere in the distance, a massive animal is watching you. One mistake could mean death. But ancient humans had a secret weapon. It wasn't made in a factory. It wasn't made from steel. It was made from wood, stone, bone, and human intelligence. And one of the most powerful versions of this technology was the spear thrower, also known as an atlatl. But how could something that looked like a simple stick become such a dangerous weapon? Let's go back to the beginning. Thousands of years ago, humans lived in a very different world. Across parts of the planet were enormous animals. Woolly mammoths, giant bison, massive wild cattle, large deer, and predators that could kill a human in seconds. Humans didn't have claws. We weren't particularly fast, and compared with many large animals, we were physically weak. So how did we survive? Our greatest weapon wasn't strength. It was intelligence. Humans learned that instead of fighting an animal face to face, they could attack from a distance. The spear was one of the earliest solutions. But throwing a spear by hand had a major limitation. Your arm could only generate so much speed and power. So humans came up with an ingenious idea. What if they could make their arm effectively longer? That's where the spear thrower came in. The device was surprisingly simple. It was essentially a lever. A dart or long spear was placed along the launcher. The hunter held the device in one hand. Then came the throw. The hunter's arm moved forward. But the spear thrower added another lever to that movement. At the final moment, the dart was released. The result? A much more powerful projectile than a person could normally throw by hand. Think of it like extending your arm with a mechanical advantage. Suddenly, a human who wasn't especially strong could launch a long dart with incredible force. Now imagine a group of ancient hunters tracking a huge animal. They don't charge toward it. They don't want to get close. Instead, they watch. They wait. They study the animal's movements. The hunters position themselves carefully. One hunter slowly raises his spear thrower. The dart is ready. The animal turns. For 1 second, everything becomes silent. Then, whoosh, the dart flies through the air. The hunters don't need to overpower the animal physically. They've turned distance into protection. And this is one of the most important secrets of human survival. We didn't need to be the strongest animal. We needed to be clever enough to keep dangerous animals away from our bodies. But projectile weapons weren't only useful for hunting. They could also change human conflict. A person who could attack from a distance had an enormous advantage over someone who had to fight at close range. This idea would become one of the most important themes in human history. First came simple spears, then spear throwers. Later came bows and arrows. Eventually came crossbows, firearms, and modern weapons. The technology changed dramatically, but the basic idea remained remarkably similar. Don't fight your enemy at arm's length if you can attack from a distance. Eventually, humans developed an even more revolutionary weapon, the bow and arrow. Unlike the spear thrower, the bow could be carried relatively easily. It could be used quickly, and it allowed hunters and warriors to send smaller projectiles over significant distances. The bow transformed hunting and warfare across many parts of the ancient world. But the important story isn't simply about one weapon. It's about what these weapons reveal about our ancestors. Ancient humans didn't survive because they were physically superior. They survived because they could invent. They could observe nature. They could experiment. They could take a simple piece of wood, turn it into a machine, and use that machine to change their chances of survival.